If you are using maximize conversions with a target CPA on your Google Ads lead generation campaign, and you're noticing in the average cost per click column, your cost per click just be astronomically high these days, and you want to know how you can control it under a target CPA. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can set a bid limit on your target CPA so that Google cannot exceed a certain bid when trying to hit your cost per acquisition goal. And the idea for this video actually came up this morning when I was looking at a client's account. We're using a target CPA bid strategy, but Google was getting very close to bidding as high as my target CPA for one keyword. So for instance, I was aiming to have a target CPA of $150 and Google spent $121 on a click. And that's just super, super aggressive. I didn't feel comfortable with that. So I went in and I made some changes so that Google wouldn't exceed that. Because the problem is if you don't put a constraint on top of the target CPA, sometimes it just might blow your budget in one click or two clicks and you're done for the day. So that's something that you need to consider. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to go about setting a bid limit. So the way to go about it is first make sure that you're using a target CPA bid strategy. And from there, you are going to go in and just confirm. Okay, so you have your target CPA, $50. What you will need to do is actually go up here to the top and then just type in portfolio bid strategy. So you go to tools, budgets, and bidding bid strategies, or just type in portfolio up here. And then it would pull in the portfolio bid strategy that you would click on. And then we are going to click this plus icon. And we're going to create a new portfolio bid strategies. Portfolio bid strategies allow you to automatically set bids for multiple campaigns. You can add multiple campaigns to this bid strategy, but the power of using the portfolio bid strategy, if you're using target CPA, is that you get to tell Google, hey, don't spend more than this for every bid. And you can also set a minimum as well so that it doesn't go after the bad quality clicks. So here I'm just going to call this tCPA test. And then let's say your overall target CPA is $50 and then we want to spend $300 per day. Okay, the next thing that you're going to want to do is go to advanced options, and this is the hidden feature that you'd have to go digging for. And then from here, you would just select you would enter what your maximum bid limit is and your minimum. If you don't have a minimum, then just put your maximum. So in this case, I'm going to put, let's just say $10 per click. So then at least I could get 5 clicks. Of course, you want to be reasonable with this. I would want you to do research to know what your average cost per click is before you go ahead and just start putting this layer of constraint on Google. Because with the target CPA, you're already putting a constraint on Google saying, hey, don't exceed my target CPA of, let's say, $50. When you put a maximum bid limit, you're saying, okay, don't spend more than $10 for every bid. And then on top of that, don't exceed a target CPA of $50. Now, does it always respect your target CPA? No. But for the most part, if you give Google enough budget, you should be able to reasonably hit your CPA goal. And also assuming that you have the right setup. And then you would just select the campaign that you would want and then click save. And then give it a second to load. It's going to create your portfolio bid strategy and you will see that you have that there. So this is $300 across the campaigns that I'd set and with the CPA. And the reason why it doesn't show that the campaigns were added is because this is an old account that hasn't been activated for a very long time. But for the intent of this video, I just wanted to show you where and how you could find it. So under advanced options, you would just go here, add or remove campaigns. You'd see that here. But under the actual portfolio bid strategies, you don't see it linked here because this account is not active. So if you have any questions on portfolio bid strategies or target CPA and having a bid limit, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I do want to precaution you before I end this video by saying that having a target CPA with a maximum bid limit is not something that I would recommend right out of the gate when you're launching a campaign. I know that it might be very tempting because you don't want Google to just spend freely and pretty much do what it did to me this morning, where I had a $150 budget and it spent $120 or $130 for a click. But if you're starting a brand new campaign, you need to let Google learn. And by learning, it's going to cost you money and you're going to have to waste, unfortunately, in order to learn. So I would actually let your campaign run for a week or so before you start putting additional constraints. Of course, if you have like a target CPA that you know you cannot exceed, or else it's just going to completely hurt the business, then I would put that. But in terms of the cost per click bid limit, I wouldn't put that in from the get-go, only because that's an additional constraint that could hold back your campaign. The target CPA in itself is one level of constraint, but then by putting the bid limit, you're doing an additional type of constraint that could really hold you back. And I've tested this multiple times. I've launched campaigns where I had target CPA to start and then nothing happens. Then I have to shift my match type strategy. And then, I've had campaigns where I launched with target CPA with a bid limit and nothing happens. So we have to just really test things out to see what's going to start bringing in traffic, especially if it's a brand new campaign. But if it's already an existing campaign with lots of data coming in, using this approach is going to be the best way to keep your costs down. And I think that there's also an argument on the other end. Someone might argue with me and say, well, why should you care about your CPC if you really should be focused on your cost per lead? And I see the point of that. However, I don't necessarily want to only be getting 1 click a day or 2 clicks a day and be done. And I've seen Google many times just outrageously bid just to bid, and I don't get a conversion from it. And I just wasted hundreds of dollars. So that's what I have to say, for this topic. If you have any questions, like I said, drop them in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree with me on what I shared in this video? Would love to hear your thoughts. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel. I post videos every week about Google Ads. And if you're looking for managed services or an audit, feel free to check out the description below, and I'd be more than happy to have a discussion with you. Thank you.